What's up, guys? Welcome to the Steak Knife Show as we try and set up a better angle here on the mats. I'm pretty sure this was like 2 episodes ago, not that you guys are going to remember, that we talked about using the chest rig and showing you kind of some examples of
why this is better than belt carry.
Yeah.
I should take this off.
Yes, take it off.
Play some music.
Yeah. No, I don't want to get a copyright strike for like, low-level stripper music.
So, I've been a big believer for a long time that like this is kind of the way of the future, and it purely comes from me just being selfish and like as
do most things that work in this world.
Yeah, I don't want to walk like my mentors, right? Like they have a stick up their ass and like you know who you are. Like, oh, it's because I lost some toes. No, it's because you carried a gun belt for over 30 years. Like this, even though, and I'm not saying like this doesn't present its own issues for law enforcement or security, right? You guys want Batman, but you don't want it to look scary. So this isn't a vest, it's just a chest rig, right?
Yep.
Yes, this is presented, but again, just showing up in a uniform is a use of force. I don't know if you guys are it, but like when you show up and there's a bad guy, they target identify. Like there's nothing quite like knowing you're gonna get in a fight when the guy's like, yeah, I know that dude. And they're like looking at your stuff, right? Like they're identifying.
Yeah.
And if Tim's wearing a gun belt and he puts his hand, pretend you're right-handed, right? And he puts his hand on his gun to try to intimidate me, it's nothing to be like, yeah, and then boom, and now he can't draw his gun. And we're in a physical altercation. Hopefully he trains. I'm gonna say probably not, but that's just a balance of probabilities. But don't worry, when he's in trouble, he'll draw his gun.
Yes.
Right? Or Tim's wearing a gun belt and he gets knocked to the ground and he falls. And me being, I've watched UFC and I go, whoop. And now he's just gonna draw his gun because he's in real trouble here because this is a deadly situation. A couple punches where his head bounces off the cement and he can't get to his gun. Or I really like the ones where they sell like, here's a knife to hide behind your magazines and you're gonna punch it in. The second he starts dipping, there's no more shield on his left side and he's just gonna start. Or worse, if they have some kind of fight IQ and I start to handcuff him with his own arms and now I'm beating him, right? And I think my favorite thing that has come out recently and some of the feedback we've gotten is somebody's like, you guys always train for the absolute worst case scenario, 92% of it. Yeah, that's the whole point. When you need it, so it's like an insurance. But would you like it if your insurance policy only covered like 70% of your stuff? No. You train for the worst. You train for the worst.
We only cover paper cuts.
We only cover paper cuts, and we'll replace one light, not both lights, right?
And yeah, if you break your knee, that's too bad. So we only cover tweaks.
So check it. I got knocked to the ground, and Tim mounts me.
And he's wearing
This thingy. Right? And I'm not even saying that I would attempt to draw here, right? This is a taser, but like we can clearly pretend it's a gun, like all these things. I don't know that I pretend to draw here, but my rig is high enough that I can do stuff. Like my pen, you can always dive for a pen as a puncture weapon, right? I can take our OC spray and pull this out and use this as an impact weapon and like target like fingers, right? I'm not trying to like, you can make things happen
It's
here.
soft, but it's still hard.
It's plastic.
Yeah, it's
like
3D printed.
3D printed, right? I'm not just like destroying him with
Yeah,
a
no.
right?
It still hurts.
But
I was
like,
surprised.
and
I was
like,
like,
I'm
oh
gonna,
shit.
like using jujitsu, right? Because here's the thing, guys, right? If you don't train, my best option here is to either koala bear here, where now he can't hit me. Like those suck, but it's not gonna knock me out. He can't even really slam me. Right? He's holding my weight. And if I want to stop the strikes, guys, like let's do like a very basic science lesson here. My feet are going to push us forward. Now he can't lift up and hit me. He can't. He's holding us, right? That's how this works, right? Or the other one, if he gets a base, right? I'm either going to shift my helmet from here and wait, because he's going to throw useless strikes as I kind of roll with him, and he's going to start to try to pin. That's what I'm looking for. Now I've pinned him. I'm going to either knee him or violently bridge, and we're going to roll. Do we have enough room to roll that way? I can't see.
You do.
Right? I'm going to lift, hit, and roll. And buy a better holster. I don't think I locked it in.
Now it's going to be hard to lock in.
Now it's going to be hard to lock in. Oh.
Pretend there's a blue screen that says
Yeah.
boop.
I didn't.
Now back after some technical difficulties.
Come on, Blade Tech.
Is it pulled up? Oh, shoot at yourself in the face.
no,
All right.
There we go.
There we
Boom, and then lock it.
That's a beat. There we go.
There it is. Boom. All right, we're better.
So
Blade Tech's great. You just gotta make sure it's locked in.
check your gear.
Check
we
your
just
gear.
set this up like 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, we took it off of our gun belts.
Yeah.
Put it on here. So we're here, right? And he goes to pin, and I roll, hit, and roll. From here, everything's still accessible, right? If I feel like I've been rocked or I'm losing the fight, I can certainly draw and start to shoot. If it is a taser, can tase, all those things, right? Or for whatever reason, if we're here and all of a sudden his buddy's running up, I can draw and shoot. Hopefully you practice one-handed shooting, but I can also just kind of retreat, right? If you're not training, I wouldn't say stay down on somebody unless you're starting to get numbers. So, but that's just like one of the, like a very basic way of showing why I think chest care is better, right? On top of like most, my two favorite ways that cops stand, or security, I'm not just hating on cops, military as well,
Keep talking.
is they stand like this, right? We're here kind of doing this. And there's just no, like you've handcuffed yourself. Or you stand like this, right? Covering your gear. But if somebody sucker punches me, like there's this like reaction is slower than action. The other one that I struggle with is like I'm doing something with, let's say Shindle's back on the ground and his buddy comes up and grabs my whole, like in line, grabs my gun from here. Any shields I have now have to drop and try to strip this grip, right? I'm not saying that this is perfect. I'm saying this is better. This is what I think is going to be the next step in terms of like carrying correctly, right? So like I don't want somebody to, like if I'm dealing with somebody or talking to somebody, to come up and grab my whatever weapon that's in line now, because it's very easy for him to draw. His hands now, he could draw and get it. So I have to abandon all shields to try to pin and do something so I don't lose control of my weapon. As opposed to if he comes up and he grabs here, like I'm talking and like he grabs, now we're in my workspace, right? It's just the fact of me putting my shield on makes it hard for him to draw this. Even if he comes around, he's left-handed and he grabs it. Just my shield here, like he can't really draw. I've killed the action of him being able to draw.
It's not working correctly with how most people
there's
would
a
think.
retention.
Yeah, like even if I come in right-handed, he can keep it there.
And I'm going to start to, if you notice, if you do jiu-jitsu and you want to say wrist locks don't work, I can just wrist lock that right off and snap it.
Yep.
Right? Like this is so much better. Like just from putting my helmet on, my spray, everything's here. My cuffs can be covered. Like this is really what I think is, if you do wear body armor and you have much more room to work with, I really tighten. Who makes this one?
It's a Cry Precision.
Cry
So
Precision.
it is expensive, but I will tell you this, it is a one-size-fits-all. And as you can see, we are not the same size.
I'm 5'6", 150 pounds.
I am 6'1", probably walking around at 230 most days.
Yeah, and like this is, we
I
only
fit-
have
it
one
fits both
rig
of us,
and
yeah.
we share it, right, for right now. The only thing I can say, Cry Precision, and we'll tag you in it,
Yeah.
is that for me, I wish that I had some right here. And this would come up here, and then this would move under. So I had everything in line with my true center, right?
Yeah,
It makes
everything
me,
off your side.
Yeah. Two reasons. One, I like this will work, but I feel like I have to sacrifice to come here. Whereas if it's truly here, just crunching in will keep everything folded and tight. And the other one being, if I ever have to shrimp on my right side, I've already noticed that this part digs into the ground. So if I have to like shrimp to the right, this is getting peeled, right?
Yeah.
So I'm considering just having his mom like make some kind of webbing that connects here and moving this up here. My firearm taser, whatever you want, like here, and then moving this over. And then because we're constantly in and out of gloves and like tourniquets and stuff like that, I've found a couple hanging fanny packs.
Yeah, like small.
Like right here to like for gloves, my notepad.
The other thing you got to
things like that.
remember is we're talking about our application. Like obviously, we understand if you were in a cruiser, you wouldn't want a low-hanging bag to impinge with your waist.
A fanny pack, though, especially if it's just kind of flopping,
Yeah.
that I would absolutely adore that in a cruiser.
Yeah.
Having been a police officer sitting. The other reason I like this, as a police officer who had to shoot outside of cruisers for training, this is way better with a steering wheel than if you're receiving fire, kinking out and trying to come from here and then bring it around to shoot. I can come out, boom, and out, right?
Yeah,
Just
and
things to think about.
And I think that's where we're kind of like why we're talking about this and why it's attracted us is it seems to answer a lot of the problems that we see with the carryover from that waist level carry. It's hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And what I mean by that is you carried your sword down here because you have a shield.
Cowboys carried here.
Gun because you're riding a horse. Although
And
even on a horse,
and they were wheel guns, though. They were like you
Yeah.
carried your extra rounds
Yeah.
on your belt, right? But even there, like, I don't know how accurate it is. I feel like it's like I can tell you where this really started to come from, and it was, as with most things from the movie.
Yeah.
Doc Holliday carried two guns. One was cross draw across his belt, so it was comfortable while he was sitting and gambling. The other one was hidden by his jacket in a shoulder holster.
Yep.
And like this kind of action is way faster, right? And it's much more in line. So say I decide I need to go for this, and I'm trying to figure out which side I should be on. And Tim decides to pin. Go ahead. So I can't draw, right? Just this action, right? A standard grip rate that we taught in Columbus State Self-Defense, right? Here, boom, right? So I'm going to draw on 10 pins, and I can immediately start this action, right? It's functional, it's strong. As opposed to if I go to draw on 10 pins, I now have to make a choice. Am I going to start to hit, or am I going to try to strip, right? For me, because we still unfortunately have to carry here, right? I'm going to close the distance so I don't get knocked out. I'm going to create some kind of arm bar, and now I'm going to draw and engage from extremely close range, right? Whereas those same actions work, but I can do it from here, right? If he suddenly comes forward, I can arm drag and still draw and start to do something here, right? It's just, I think it's just so much better. And I understand that there's the two main factors. We talked about it a few episodes ago. This is the way we've always done it, and that's from the ground level troops, right? Just the troops saying like, I don't want to do this, or you have ones who are like, that's uncomfortable, or I was this for this many years, and
I don't think it'll work.
I don't think it'll work, but they don't
And
train.
even then-
They just wear the gear every day.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't even train with the gear they have, so okay.
and like we really should post it, but like we'll have to do like a maybe a 3-minute video of just a compilation of like rounds where we wear this, where we're fighting in
Do
this.
some new ones.
Yeah, we'll shoot some new ones and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But like where we're shooting this one, and like I'm the good guy, he's the bad guy, and then do the reverse of it, where like he's not as trained as I am.
Nope.
But like I'm not going to be out there being like a black belt in jiu-jitsu, like cartwheel passing as he's trying to draw a weapon, right? We're trying to replicate true violence. And we have that, thankfully, with like Noah. We can bring Noah in again, and like just show like how this is much more effective than a duty belt. But like,
And even I've even put it on untrained people and had them be more successful. Ashley and Brooke.
Brooke. Oh God.
Cheney.
Can you imagine if Brooke had a knife? Like, sorry.
Yeah. No, I can't. That would be suck for the other person. Not her.
Something that we don't carry, but like, because somebody asked about it, like, where would I carry my collapsible baton? I would probably put it underneath, so I could just flick, right? It'd be sideways and flick out.
Even mounted off a shoulder strap.
I don't know that maybe. I don't want to be doing something and like it start to shake out, right? I like the sideways because if nothing else, like maybe I don't know. I would have to play with. We don't carry batons anymore.
Yeah. A lot of departments don't.
Our
Well, a lot of departments don't even carry them.
But as an impact weapon instructor, everything a baton can do, a flashlight can do, the bottom of your mace can do. Truly a pen.
And
if you have a pen, you should have a pen that if you reverse it, it's a glass breaker. That would certainly help if somebody had mounted you. If you pull a pen out.
I'll ask you this: you were an impact weapon instructor. Your opinion of hitting somebody with a metal rod?
You mean trying to kill them or seriously physically harm
Just-
them and escalating the situation?
Yeah, just being like, if you don't do this, I'm going to hit you with this metal rod. Because I understand that there's
It's supposed
compliance.
to be scary, right? Every time that I've ever seen it deployed, the person's like, the bad guy
Yeah.
is like, if you do that, I'm gonna take that from you and beat you. And
Yeah.
it's usually a very, very like experienced bad guy. They've dealt with the police before. They're usually, the baton is supposed to make me, the small person, intimidate you. But as any big brother has done,
Yeah.
I had 2 little brothers. We fought all the time. I'll never forget. My youngest brother, Connor, thought he was going to be cute and grabbed a wiffle ball bat. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Like, I'll eat one, and then I'm going to take it.
Yeah, because as soon as it's here, wham.
Boom.
Yeah.
Or the easy one, if like you have any experience, they swing and you snake charm.
Yeah.
And they
Whoop,
kind of
and
miss
then-
and you're boom.
Yep.
And now I'm going to slide down and be like,
Bat.
so again,
Hey, don't hit people
your
with metal sticks.
Your
Yeah.
once a year metal stick training is not enough for you to be like, I'm gonna draw this baton.
Yeah.
Or my absolute favorite.
But Dan Insano, I'm in Dan Insano.
Unless your name is Tony Jamie,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
The other one of that is my favorite one. There's a recent video that we saw at work of like a mob broke out. Like 2 groups came together. They started fighting. For whatever reason, this police officer decided to deploy her baton. Oof. Ooh, that could go-
Baton, wow.
baton, whoop.
Yeah.
She deployed her baton. And like, there's just people moving. So how are you going to swing this thing and not hit people that are, some of them
Yeah,
are fleeing.
everyone, yeah.
Yeah, like, I get it for like clearing space, but like some people are actively trying to flee. Like, unless you have like true training and you're not going to lose yourself in the fight, I don't, the size of that group, I don't know that I wouldn't have just been like, make a V, like everybody out. Like, try to V drive through the way like Dustin Mallory showed me. Like just make a V and drive. Like,
yeah.
split the C. But deploying a metal, like, I don't know that I would deploy one.
I honestly, like, people have been like, would you want that? And I'm like, no.
If we were going to carry something, you know what I would really want? I would want the old Tonfas. That looks like an L, right? The one that's from Lethal Weapon 1.
Yeah.
Right? Simply for the ability to block things, and then
Yep.
it's in my shield. So when I shield in, it hurts
Yeah.
a little
Oh, yeah.
more.
I've got it upstairs. Trust me. I
Yeah,
know.
but like, and that's just to that was one, and then I have a good grip that usually
Well,
has
and
has a knob, so it's hard for you to strip from me.
that, and if you need to hit,
It's a
then
yeah,
boom, and you're like, oh,
and
okay.
it's not, it doesn't expose my fist to danger.
That's what
right?
yeah.
So it's hard to
It's
strip from me. And
Here,
good-
here, here.
Yeah, and I can block with it.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a good one. And then if you're really mad and you're swinging and I block a couple strikes, it might break your hand, right? And then you're like, oh, I don't know that I want to do this anymore. So you de-escalate yourself by me being defensive. That's truly, and they made. I have one. They had
Yeah, we both have one.
collapsible Tonfa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that
it's just
was-
like a little handle with it comes out.
And then,
yeah.
and then like just from a little spin, like as you pull it, you spun it and it came right out. And it was cool. Like I really dug that one. That is one that that's one that if we were gonna go back, I would really push for that one. And I don't train weapons very much.
I would immediately go find. There's a dude local that does Kali. I'd be like, show me.
Tony Jamie, if you want.
There's another dude too.
Who?
I can't remember his name. I met him like 2 weeks ago. He was training Aaron.
Oh, cool. Well, we'll get his
He's
name
like
and tag
he's a
him.
black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's a high level Kali dude.
Here in town?
I'll show you who he is.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
I probably know him. I'm sorry if
Yeah.
I can't. Maybe it's just the concussions. I don't know. We did it.
You just want to flow through some like movement so they can see.
Do you want to take the mics off as we flow through?
Sure, that's fine. We can just... footage, just you could probably see us moving around without the sound. I just wanted to see what it would be like.
So when we came in together, here's why I
yeah.
decided to do that, right? When we came in together and I went for head control, he turned and we clacked. That has rocked me before. So to me, with me being kind of unstable, that's like a time I would draw, right?
Yeah.
Especially in our profession where it's tasers and like I'm losing the fight, right?
Yes.
So like we come in, we clack. Instead of running and trying to get distance, I came in and he didn't know the taser was coming until it was already out. And then I smacked and now we're here, right? Perfect distance for a taser deployment, looking for big muscle groups, right? Not getting lost in the fight and aiming a taser at someone's face.
And could you have taken the back shot as I
Yep.
got
Boom,
pushed
get
away?
a good turn, boom,
Because
back shot.
I'm immediately turning to come back in. There's already been physical contact. He's losing. He may be rocked. You can articulate that legally.
Yep. And again, what we were talking about, because you probably couldn't hear us, he's got one that doesn't have a topper. And I don't ever want in the middle of a fight somebody's clothing or something to lift the top of my spray and start to
Well, the
deploy.
other thing too is this doesn't actually fit in here correctly.
I understand that, but I'm talking about the true cover.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like-
you want to flap.
I want to flap so that there's no accidental deployment.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather get tased and burn.
So we're
Especially
gonna flow through some movement just so you guys can see, like this standing movement of me like trying to engage and grab, like
Back up, sir. Back up. Hey,
no, man. I just why?
back.
Why are you fucking with me, dude?
don't.
Why?
Hey, if you touch me
Fuck.
again, don't stop.
Why are you grabbing me?
Because
you
I
wanna
don't
hold my hand.
Because we're not done talking, but you can't leave yet.
I wanna hold your hand.
Sir, back up. Back
Man,
up,
just
or
let
I'm
me
gonna
touch
hit you.
your-
Don't
touch
you
your shit.
don't touch my stuff
Just
again.
let me touch your shit,
I'm
bro.
gonna spray you
Come on,
back
bro.
up.
Why? You're gonna spray me with what?
Spray, right?
Ah.
Right? But like again, like just there, right? Instead of doing this big thing where like I lean out and like make this big thing of deploying, like all of a sudden it's in my hand, right?
And real talk, I have a perma muffin top. So let's be honest here. How many of you compress your body with body armor and your fat roll starts to cover some of your smaller tools?
It's so accurate.
Exactly. So you have to literally fat roll your way out of it and get the fucking weapon out.
Or
Okay?
he's sitting down
Yeah.
in a cruiser.
Yeah, like, so inherently, even if you are skinny, your body shifts over some of your gear.
And I come up.
Yeah.
I come up and I'm like, hey, didn't you arrest my buddy?
And I'm like,
And I
Like-
pin your door shut.
like I'm left-handed, so in a car, I would be fucking fucked anyways. If I was here, it would be immediately like,
You know, you draw and you'd switch hands.
yeah.
I know that you don't run a pistol very much, but we'll go over that together.
I also haven't thought of it from the chest carry that way, but yeah, that makes more sense. I would literally come
And
out,
that was one of the only
rotate
ones.
out.
That was one of the only arguments that I heard about maybe moving this up and down and a lower one where your offhand can get to it.
Yeah.
I want it, this being like my final weapon, if I'm talking pistol or taser for us, like I want this completely protected and I want a good strong draw. It's not saying that I couldn't draw this offhand, right? Boom. You just have to practice it. And it's not great. Like if this hand's out, like, yes, I understand I'm barreling myself, but like this is a terrible situation. Something's
You also
happened to this
haven't
arm.
practiced that at all. There's a way to get it out and not fucking muzzle yourself.
Boom, boom. And like you'd have to manipulate it, like, which is fine. Like when you're in a situation, like, and I'm not even saying that like,
Let me see. Let me be your arms. So, come out, up, here, slide, out.
okay, let's try it.
Yep. So, same thing that you would do cross draw on any other weapons platform.
In case you're wondering
Yeah.
the stupidity of how we work through this stuff, this is what it actually looks like.
This is how anyone who legitimately works through anything, they fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
have
like that.
to-
That'll
you
work
have
just
to-
fine.
You have to do the action. You can't just be like, in my theoretical brain, in my comfortable chair, yes, I worked through it.
And like clearly,
Yeah.
like this is the thing, and they were like, "Cool, ready?
Yeah, whack. Yeah.
Pull it now." Like,
Pull it now, motherfucker. Yeah.
like it's again,
Yeah.
like we're just again,
This is a laboratory. This right here. This is the violence laboratory.
and again, this is the way we've always done it. Just at some point, that's got to stop. Like when
All
trying,
right, so we're rambling about it.
all right.
But let's talk about
Sure,
off
sure.
angles. I know our show basically is rambling. It's two assholes rambling. It's like, might as well be this the whole time. All right.
Did you just say Ace Ventura?
Yeah, absolutely.
This steak knife
Excuse
show.
me. May I ask you a few questions? So let's say that I am approaching him from the side and I'm the bad guy, and he is here. I come in to start grabbing here. Look where his hands are already.
Because before you come in, let me get comfortable, right?
All right.
Like I'm in uniform and I'm just like, let's say I'm working special duty, right?
Right.
This is how I'm going to be standing, right here, talking to people.
Yeah.
Because this is what we inherently do. If you wear a vest, it's here. This is where I'll be standing, right? It's like this, talking to somebody, watching the crowd, like, and all of a sudden, Drunky McDrunkerson's like,
Look at that
Hey,
taser.
whoa.
Look at that taser.
Hey, bud.
What?
I back up, please don't touch
It's
my gear.
pretty. It's yellow?
It's yellow, yes, but please don't touch my gear.
It's yellow.
Please don't touch. Can you back up for me? I don't want to have to spray
It's like
you.
a bumblebee.
Yeah, it is. Like, do you like Bumblebee? I like Optimus Prime.
Does it sting like one?
It does. It hurts. We've had to use
I have
them
a
on.
high pain tolerance. Can you?
You know what?
can
Then
I
you should go
touch it?
buy one because I have to pay for these ones. Please don't. Like, hey, don't touch me anymore. Okay?
Fine.
Right? And again, like I'm just here. Like just this is again. I'm covering everything. I honestly would probably go to a cable grip and just
Over it?
hold
Yeah,
a
'cause I
cable
mean-
grip and be like, bud, hey,
Yep.
quit, right? And like again, there's a whole like there's a comfort level too. Like we talk about touch a lot. The way that Schindler's coming at me is truly how we have a lot of patients on drugs that's how they act, drunk people how they act. Like they're very like kind of here, right? So I roll and I shave, right? There's not these big like, unhand me, sir. Like it's very much like functional. Right? As he comes
So-
in, I cover.
To be clear, people who don't have experience with somebody reaching for a weapon, when they're zombie reaching, you have time to react. They're not all of a sudden going to get faster. They probably don't have it.
Yeah,
in the right
the
time.
true ones are the ones who like know they're in trouble and they're
Yeah.
deciding the time. So like be more like
The person I'd be worried
ambush.
the person I'd be worried about is the person who's like, hey man,
Hey,
can you show
hey,
up?
you better-
And they promote a secondary contact with the weapon, not your hand. If
Hence
they
the reason
grab your wrist-
hence the reason I'm not trying to
Yeah.
grab
Look,
and pin.
Yeah, look, I'm grabbing the wrist,
Hey,
I'm moving out of the way, I'm
Get the fuck
to-
back.
I'm trying to get through his weapon and I'm taking his shield away.
I'm
This
not
is
even
much
talking.
more
I'm
deceptive.
not even talking about this. I'm talking about the true ambushes
Yeah.
where like you see them like they're here and they're like yeah and they're like
Yep.
and like it's a true ambush and you've seen a couple cops on
Yeah.
body cam die from it, right?
Or
Like
they do the, all right man, I understand, I'll leave.
yep, you better back the fuck up. Like,
He may be a little edgy.
well, because
I
I'm
know.
wearing gear. Like
Yeah.
I'm much more relaxed when, like, and you guys have all seen me talk enough. Like I'm pretty lackadaisical, in terms of like I kind of roll with the punches a little bit. But like when you're in gear, like there needs to be, like you can't just be like, all right, the keys are in
can't
the
take it for
ignition,
granted.
right? Like I'm like, even when I'm around people that I know, I'm just like, what's
Yeah.
up, man? Like
Yeah.
that's too
Nope.
close. Don't do that.
You're too close, man.
It's too close.
There was these, but I've had people in gear at the place that we work at come up and just like try to touch my taser, and I was like, don't. do
They're in
that.
gear or they're working a different profession.
They're in the clinical side.
Okay.
So they are.
And you know
Here.
them, like you're friends.
Yeah, but they were like, oh, and I was like, don't touch our weapons.
There's
And they were
gotta be
like,
a-
whoa, you're pretty serious about that. I said, yeah, this is a weapon.
Yeah.
Like-
I prefer the term tool, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like-
I don't come up and grab your stethoscope,
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like, oh, that's a nice stethoscope.
or like I don't come. No, I treat it like Mjolnir. If you
Yeah.
have the needle and you're a little too shaky,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, we got this. We're gonna go right here.
Different because they are holding a weapon.
Yeah,
that
and I'm
is
like, hey,
meant
you're
to deliver
you're real
medicine.
shaky. We're gonna go into this
Yeah.
butt cheek.
Yeah.
Good job. Now go away.
Different, much different, because you're promoting the safety of the situation. I'm talking like casual conversations.
They're
I
just
had-
kinda
I used to
talking.
have people be like, "Oh man, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What are you? Don't touch our gear.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
There's got to be a professional line that's held, right? You don't want to ever be
Well-
too comfortable.
You wouldn't go up to a cop and be like, "Oh, that's a nice gun, buddy." You would immediately get punched or you would get shot.
So I carried, because I'm smaller, I carried a 19, but I used the 17 full size. And I can't tell you the number of people who thought it was appropriate to come up and like grab it and be like, your mag's out. I'm like, nah, it's locked in. It's just got 2 extra rounds and you're about to feel them if you don't let the fuck go of my gun. Like, why would you ever come touch somebody's weapon of any kind? Imagine
gonna
walking
walk
up to a biker and you see he has a fixed blade and you're like, that's a cool blade, man. You think you're not gonna die? Like, what is wrong with you? Don't, with the stupidity, like, of
Don't touch
of
other
people.
people's weapons.
Don't be ignorant to violence, right? Like it's around you, and you need to take it very seriously.
All right, so talked about this. We flowed through some ideas. Let us know what you think.
Really quickly, Crytek Precision.
Cry Precision.
Cry Precision. And then
If you don't know what Cry Precision is, you've probably been living under a rock.
Blade Tech. Blade Tech.
Blade Tech holster.
For the
This
Taser
is,
7.
09.
09. And then just
They're-
your generic galls.
Yeah. So, if you have any questions, shout us out. We're not sold on this handcuff case. We'd probably go to something much slimmer.
And I'm not
as
sold on
detect-
this.
Yeah, that's mine.
That's his preference. Like, again,
But-
Crytek or Cry Precision.
Yeah, Cry Precision. They're an amazing company.
We're gonna tag you,
But-
and like if you make it through this, or maybe we'll make a short of it. Like
Yeah.
I would love for you to, even if you just add like an add-on here, so I can
something
move
that we
this
can buy to
up,
add like a piece.
move this up, or if you want to go ahead and just make more webbing higher, that's what I would prefer.
I don't think they're going to do that because this attaches to other of their gear. Like you unsnap this, and take it off, and you literally attach it as an extra
So
carrier.
what? Like it would just be like a slide-on? Whatever. We'll talk about it later. Stay whimsical. Stay combative.
Yep, steak knife.